podcast. What's going on, y'all? It's been a while.
Welcome back, good people. We out here. Obviously, we got third person here. We're going to do it justice, but you know, it's your boy. We back. Rando Convo here.
It's
do what it do.
I feel like a lot has changed.
Oh man, we're
New
in a different
new setting,
different location.
new setting, more space.
I didn't realize those were here till now. Holy, we got backgrounds.
That's my collection right there, y'all.
All right, is that Mbappe?
Oh, who?
Mbappe.
Mbappe. Yeah, it's Mbappe.
Oh, that's tough. All right.
We got Mbappe, we got All Might, we got Baby Yoda, and we got Chainsaw Man shit, and Bernie Sanders too.
Baby Yoda's been in a couple already, but nonetheless, we out here. So
it's good to be back.
You know who we are.
You know me, obviously, is your host.
Oh, well, if you're watching this and you don't know who we are, you should probably watch the old episodes. But go ahead, Nick.
We've had some really good episodes, but we have another heater for you today. Of course, I'm your host, Nick.
It's your boy. If you don't know, you should know. Go check out the old episodes.
And of course, we have our special guest. Introduce yourself, sir.
Hi, what's up, guys? My name is Keith Richardson.
Wait,
Happy to
I
be
have
here.
the things.
Oh,
wrong thing.
Hey.
Hey, guys, hey.
Welcome
Rando
to-
Convo, let's go.
Yes,
And then,
sir.
guys, for the first time ever, we have an audience member in studio.
That's Cap, though. We've actually had an audience before.
Wow.
Shouts out to Aaron. He's in our audience right now.
Wait.
Shout out to the
Hey.
audience. Give yourself a hand. Say
Oh,
that.
Look under your seat.
I hate when people say that. Give yourselves a hand.
This ain't Oprah, bro. This is not Oprah.
But this is the Rando Convo
I
podcast.
promise you
And
nothing.
of course, you already know we have to start off with our rando thoughts.
We out here, right? You know
I'll go first. I'm
You
quick.
go first. Oh,
I'll go
look at
first.
here,
I'm
Nick.
quick.
We have
I'm
a
quick because
routine.
I feel like you
A
might.
schedule. Oh, go ahead. I'm gonna let you do it. Go ahead.
Wait, we don't?
No, but we
Random
go
thought,
first.
right?
Do I always?
I always go first.
It's been a while.
Nick,
Come on,
To
host.
not mess
change
up.
it up, Nick. Do what you gotta
Yeah,
do.
come on, host.
It's not,
Please,
my
nah.
rando thought isn't important enough to change the format.
No, it's too late now. We're here. The Rando thought has begun.
All right, my rando thought is moving sucks.
Get the hell out.
Moving sucks.
Yo, I agree with you. I just don't think that's news, but I'm happy that you feel that passionately.
It's just
about
because,
moving.
like, for example, like this was the most unique move I've ever had.
There's backstory behind this.
There wasn't, obviously there's other reasons I can get into,
Mm-hmm.
but I have my other place still under my wing right
Okay.
now. And I've been moving slowly.
Under my wing.
I've been moving slowly, and I thought that it would be like easier this way, but it sucks all the same.
Yeah.
So I think in general, moving
moving isn't
sucks.
fun. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like you're dragging out a tough process that nobody likes
Yeah.
over like weeks. That's what's making it so bad. Like if you would have just like knocked it out right away, then like it probably then you'd be like, all right,
you
cool,
fucked up.
I got it
Yeah.
over with for real. But like I can see that, but yeah, I understand why you
I just
you
don't
try
think
to
moving
do
is fun in
do
any
it this
capacity.
way. Yeah.
But I like that you're switching up and trying new things just to learn that they also suck. This is
I will say the next move I have will be with movers. They will be moving myself.
Honestly,
They will be moving myself.
pay someone.
This is some real adulting right here, Nick. Some quality adulting.
It unfortunately is, but you know what? Like I said, it's not that important in the grand scheme of things. Now, what
Word.
is your rando thought?
People. You know I'm back. I'm back with the wisdom, the bars. I come with the knowledge, all that good shit. But today, I'm gonna keep it. We're gonna keep it out the way. Stop worrying about what other motherfuckers are doing. Ain't got nothing to do with you, in the slightest. Stop doing that shit. This is the last time I'm tell y'all. We gotta stop doing this shit. this get ridiculous. Like the amount of motherfuckers not minding their business is insane. Stop doing this shit. Go get some money. Stop being weird. All right, Randall thought up.
You sound like Coach Carter.
Nigga, I was like, yo, I told you multiple times. I'm keep telling people, stop worrying about the next motherfucker. It got nothing to do with you. Keep it moving. Good day.
Good day.
Oh, by the way, Keith, it's yours. What's your Randall thought?
Yeah, that's my kind of energy, bro.
You feel me? That's how I move it.
I'm with it.
So-
All right. Okay. Cool. All right. Yeah. So my
Switch
random
again.
thought is, I wish people would look at the more positive and things like art
Amen.
instead of going to critique it and talk about the negative thing first. Like we've all learned this. Say, we're giving somebody news or something like that. Tell them what you like about it, and then give your constructive criticism. Like you can do that, but like people are going like, this is what I don't like about the art. I don't like this about it. I don't like the person that made it.
I feel like it's much easier to be a hater than to appreciate something and take the harder traveled route. If you can give some positive with some negative, do that shit. Because, I hear you loud and clear. Motherfuckers love being negative in their free time. Don't make no type of sense.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what it is. It's being a hater. Like, so many people are really just, like, haters. And for me, I mean, it's just natural. I'm an optimist, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm always looking at the positive, glass half full, not glass half empty. And just, like, naturally, I'm listening to music. I'm like, okay, even if it's an artist I never heard before, I'm like, okay, I like what they did with this. Say, like, an artist I never heard them before or, there's new to me, and I'm just listening to it the first time. Don't care how many followers they got, how many viewers they got, and I'd be like, okay, I really like the song. I like what they did with it here, and I don't really have to critique things.
Does that depend on the genre though? Like, let's say like somebody's like, yo, I got this new song. I really want you to hear it, and it is some country shit. Are you still in that same way?
No, I'm looking at it from I guess the word for it is objective lens.
Fair enough.
And I'm trying to see, okay, this is why, even though I don't listen to this genre on a regular basis, I can appreciate things like country or any genre for real. Like, I'm not going to be like, I might not go out of my way to listen to that genre, but I'm going to say, okay, this is what I liked about it. It was really good vocals in this song. Or like, I actually like the beat.
Got to give it a chance.
I did like the beat.
I think it's very important to have an open-minded perspective, so I fuck with that. So
I have to say that got to be like at least like a top 5 Rando thought. I really like that.
I could put it up there.
I can put it up there too. I think that's a really good Rando thought.
It's hard to put someone above me, but I'll put some considerations because
those are the words of a narcissist, ladies and gentlemen.
Dial on. It's whatever. We'll move on. What's the first topic?
All right. Let's get to the first topic then.
Which is, I'm pretty sure it's a Keith topic for real.
Okay.
Word.
I'll introduce it. You know what I'm saying?
Word. Go ahead.
I'm gonna pass the baton to Keith.
It's hard to introduce the topic. Your first pause.
So this might be our broadest topic yet.
It's
pretty broad.
This is pretty broad.
Pretty broad.
We did describe a year before.
I like broad.
And also, it's something that everybody has to engage in, no matter what. Like you're involved in this process, no matter what. And of course, we're talking about capitalism. You're not escaping capitalism.
That's true.
Not if you live pretty much anywhere. Maybe in those countries where people are still naked, walking around with the leaves and stuff.
What if you were like royalty in a country? Would you think it really affected you, or just it's a perception thing?
Royalty, what?
Like, let's say you were like Middle East royal family, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you were in the Middle East, like you say you're in Saudi Arabia, you're selling
royalty, right?
Like, you're selling oil to America.
You are the government at that point.
Yeah, but they're not deeping it like how we deepen it.
They're literally making trades with us. That's capitalism.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Now, I'm saying the only way you can pretty much escape capitalism is when you put the leaves on your junk and you're walking around naked and you're living in fucking huts.
So technically, if you was to be, I feel like even if you was off the grid, you'd have to participate in some shape or form because you probably need.
You're still paying taxes if you live off the grid.
Depends how you live off the grid.
Government. Uncle Sam's gonna find your
offshore bank accounts. That's how you do it.
I know people who play that. That's none of my business.
You know niggas.
I'm gonna leave it alone. I know the feds probably watching, but that's all good and fun until you get caught.
The feds are watching. But I want to pass the baton to Keith and explain how we're going to talk about capitalism and how do you feel about capitalism?
Word.
Okay, I mean, I just wanted to start with how do you guys feel about money? Just kind of like in general. Is there such thing as somebody having too much money?
Hell no.
Should we be giving handouts to everybody just for the sake of giving handouts?
Hell no.
How do you guys feel about that?
I think the situation is very important. Context is very important. I do believe if you're not trying to get money, especially in today's climate, you was behind some type of ball. You must be living a great life because all I know is every time I get a pay raise, I get a new job, I move into a better economic standing, I always find that I need more money. And this, to me, is a never-ending process in my current point in life. So, I don't know what the number is. I don't know if I gotta stop working for somebody. I don't know what the amount should be in my savings, whatever. How much money I need to be comfortable, chilling, not worried about a damn thing. I think everyone needs multiple streams of income. I think if you're not, obviously everyone's different age groups, right? I'm 26. I'm entering my late 20s technically. I feel like if you're early 20s, your mindset's different. Your life is different. Things are going. You might still be living with your parents, but like if you in my age group and you're not trying to get no money, you're doing this wrong. In my opinion.
I feel like if you're part of most age groups, like after you reach your, let's say like after your, when you get to, let's say your 20s,
Word.
like that's when money becomes like,
It's a real
because like
factor.
if you're in college, for example, why are you in college? To be able to make more money.
That's a great point. I'll tell you that. If you're going to college and you're not getting out there with the mindset of I need to be making bands.
Like, why do people join the military? Because it's the best usually financial decision they can
Some
make.
people care about their country, but all right.
But you care about your country, but also like you wouldn't be doing that shit for free.
I think some people would.
No, people are doing it for the security later in life. They're like, all right, bet. If I can get through this 4 years, serving this 4 years in the military, I think that's the minimum you got to serve.
Yeah.
I think it depends
where
on
you
your
can
branch.
retire with the benefits, and then the longer you serve, then you get more of those benefits. So
Exactly.
I think that's a big reason a lot of people go into the military. Like, you know what?
Still money. I'm not saying it's like
Yeah.
you're trying to make bank going to the military, but you're
Yeah.
trying to be able to do your shit, make money to be able to provide for your family.
You don't think there's nobody that would die for America for free nowadays?
I'm sure people will die for America, but not if they have kids, and if
That's
they
fair,
die,
no,
their kids are going to be ass
very
out.
situation based. But
Yeah, so I feel like nobody's
I feel like-
nobody's gonna die for America if America's not gonna watch their fucking kids.
I feel like it grows
don't
on
have
them
kids,
once
it
they
wouldn't
get
be a
into the
problem.
military.
That's
just say it.
Like if they didn't come from a military family,
Yeah, it would
like
definitely-
then they probably have that patriotism, kind of thing going
not
on.
every
But for
every
most
person
people, they
thing.
probably like,
Yeah.
It's definitely
I
not every
really
person
don't give a shit. Like I like the benefits of being in the military. If I do my 4 years, if I do longer, it's got a bunch of benefits.
definitely hear you.
They'll pay for my school.
Right.
So it's a lot of people. It's things like that, and some people,
Well, that's
they've had a
capitalism.
dream all their life to go into the military. Like, I always wanted to be a Marine. I always wanted to be in the
I feel
Air
like
Force.
that is a demographic, but I don't think it's nearly as large as the people who are for the benefits.
Yeah, I feel like that's very slim. People who are like, oh, patriotism, or maybe if something just happened. Like I think a lot of people enrolled in the enlisted in the military after things like 9/11. You're like, you know what, 9/11, I'm gonna enroll in the military. Like
Some situation like
yeah,
that.
like that dude American Sniper. Like that's why he went to the
I didn't see that
military.
movie, but good point.
Yeah.
And not to say,
How do we get on
I think that's important. I think we've gone a little off track.
No, I was
from
literally thinking, how do we get out of the military?
I think you act. I don't know how we got in the military.
That's a great
but
point.
When we watch it back, we'll figure
Someone's
it
gonna
out.
figure it
But
out.
you said something I thought was interesting. You said that, like, you asked the question: is there any amount of money that's too much money?
Nope.
I would say that, like, from an individual standpoint, no. Like, I feel like everybody should have it in them to make as much money as they are possibly capable of.
1,000%.
I think that's very important, and you timed it. Good job.
I was gonna brag it later, but I wanted to let the pod continue naturally.
He never times those.
Never is a strong term.
He always says he's gonna
never
do
is a
it.
strong term. I've done it before, and I forget consistently.
Nearly never.
I don't time us more than I do time us, but never is a strong term. Just saying.
Nearly never.
Shut up, Nick. You're a hater, bro. A professional fucking hater. But like you were saying about too much money, which is
I think from an individual standpoint, I don't think anybody should put a cap on what they are worth and what
I feel
they
like
can generate.
even Jeff Bezos and Elon is trying to eat more, and those motherfuckers got more money than motherfuckers will ever see in their lifetime.
I do think it's a net negative when there are a limited amount of people that hold the majority of the wealth. I think that's when we get into negative territory.
It does seem
Like when we have, like, let's say one person making up like a couple million people's worth of income. It's like, I feel
That
like
is the
that's
current day
where
status.
that is where we get into problems. I think throughout history we've seen it. Like the biggest example I can name is like the French Revolution, where the people just had enough.
I feel like I hear you where money does come with a certain aspect of power, but I don't feel like we're in a time anymore where, like, I feel like back then motherfuckers really had money, could really change like country landscapes. Like they really could like do some shit. Elon obviously is doing a rocket ship
He's literally
thing,
in space.
and he's sending dudes to space. But like, I feel like if Elon was to go like it's tweak, you feel me, fall off the deep end, motherfuckers would actually check him. I don't know how that would conspire or transpire or whatever the word may be, but
Well, the richest person in the country is not a person; it's the government.
fair.
If the government wasn't in place and as rich as it was, a nigga like Elon would rule the country.
What is even the I feel like because the government literally makes money, you can't really put a finance on.
But that was
I feel like I don't want to.
They print.
I mean, that's
it.
But they're the ones who implement capitalism.
Fair.
Like, the capitalism would not exist without the government.
You don't think we'd be
basically
bartering?
like meeting everybody in the middle?
I hear
Things,
what
the
you're saying.
subsidies, like the government's involved in like tax breaks, all this stuff. The government helps capitalism. Without the government, it wouldn't exist in the same way.
Bartering like hell.
Right. It would be a different form of capitalism. It would be way more savage.
Yeah, it's what allows for capitalism.
The licks without the government would be no, that's irrelevant. But I mean, the government obviously has its factors. It's got its hand in everything, whether you want it to or not.
Mm-hmm.
But I hate to give the government the richest status because they really, whenever the government go bad, they just start handing out money. And like,
the government can do whatever. The government can do whatever it wants.
They're not playing the same game we play.
Yeah, I'm not gonna call it the same thing as like a person or not even a business. Yeah.
Yeah. What I say is they're the most important player in the realm of capitalism.
Important power. They allow for it. You know,
they're the banker in this situation.
Yeah, they'll
our government especially so because our government can print money. And they are the national currency of the world. Not national, the whatever currency of the world, however you say that.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So it's just a little like, it's a weird dynamic that we have. But I'm sure other countries go through the same thing, even though their governments aren't as powerful. You know?
I'm absolutely sure of it, actually.
Yeah. But in terms of, I mean, I guess capitalism, it's just a broad topic.
It's very broad. You'd have to pencil in on something because we're just going to ramble about
yeah, it's like,
in terms of like how it's affecting us in current day, I feel like if we're comparing how it was then and now, like trying to buy a house in today's current age is not how it used to be, and it's really fucking up a lot of people in our generation. And is that a capitalism's fault? I guess yes, maybe so. It depends how you feel about how this timeline.
No, I wouldn't say that really has to do with capitalism. People like to hate on capitalism. I guess kind of what we were talking about with like the richest people in the world
holding all the wealth.
And you know they think that people in that position have like a actual responsibility that they have to just care for the whole world and and they're supposed to use all their money just to
if I get rich,
solve the world's problems. Like they don't have to. Like if you're a billionaire, like okay, I'm a billionaire. Like I don't have an obligation. Like it's the right thing to do. You know, most people do. You know, give back and you know get rid of most of their money for whatever that reason is. Mm-hmm. You can say they're doing it for the tax breaks, but a lot of people they get rid of their money. And give it to these causes. You know, people think that they have like an obligation. They're like, oh well, like you know, people were talking about Elon Musk and how he should donate. Like the guy was talking about, oh Elon Musk, because they're talking about his net worth going up, right? And they're like, oh, he's the richest person in the world. And the one guy, he was like, oh, Elon Musk could solve world hunger like with $8 billion or something like that.
That was cap. No one had the math behind that. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, you remember that?
I didn't hear about that.
Nah,
okay, yeah. So
it was like a little Twitter tirade shit where they were like, literally, like Elon could, he has so much money he could actually end world hunger right now. And he called it. He said, "Show me the math. Show me the number. Give me the actual number that ends world hunger, and I'll do it." Yeah. And that's not the case. That's not how that situation will work. Yes, a lot of money would help, but like this is a government issue. Like this isn't something a single person could just buy everyone McDonald's.
I don't even think it's a government issue. The world's always been hungry. Like, there's always people who are always a lowest denominator of people in the history of the world.
As long as it's rich, it's gonna be poor. You feel me? That's just a scale thing. That's not going nowhere. So like,
I that thing is just stupid. Like end world hunger. Like yes, everybody should strive towards that, but to expect one person to be able to do that is kind of stupid.
If my bank account goes from what it is now to several million, $1 billion, this isn't no Spider-Man shit where great power, great responsibility. Like, I was chilling before, I'm gonna be chilling afterwards. Mind your business. That's my 2 cents.
You're like, okay, nah, so you're a billionaire now. Like, can you, like, pay my bills, please?
Fuck I do with me. If I was making the income I am now, you wouldn't be asking me to pay my bills. So because you learned I have income, now I owe you something.
But you got $1 billion, bro. You can't you can't pay my $1,000 a month.
I can spare you $100, but if I give you $100, I'm not gonna give him $100.
You got $1 billion. You got $1 billion.
Bro, I'm gonna run out of money eventually if I give out the world.
Not $1 billion. You can't run out of
money. Not forever. I know that's a fact. I could buy a couple of houses. That $1 billion is gonna be $1 million real quick. That's how life works.
You say buy a couple houses.
Yeah, buy some nice houses.
You gonna buy a million nice? Like, what do you mean?
Bruh.
Like, I feel like
I go to Florida, get me $1 million house. I go to New York. New York not cheap. You feel me?
I feel like it's gonna take you a while to spend. I feel like it's hard to even fathom what $1 billion is.
You can't. It's impossible.
Like I don't think you can buy enough shit that's gonna make you broke. Like if you're a billionaire,
I'm not saying broke, but you can lose. You can go from $1 billion to $1 million, and it's gonna progress. Keep buying shit, and not making no money. It's gonna run out eventually.
No,
not if you're a billionaire.
You literally can't. You can't spend $1 billion.
I feel like you're talking about a millionaire. Where's
think you
a
can't spend
billionaire?
A billionaire.
If I stop making money and I just have $1 billion, I promise enough cars, houses, random shit, it's gonna run out.
Bro, you can't. It's impossible.
All right.
You can't even fathom what $1 billion looks like.
Bro, it's gonna have a lot of zeros in my bank account. Trust.
Like, there's not much that is like gonna cost you.
I can't spend it all in one time, but that's what you get.
You would be getting so much interest on $1 billion just for having $1 billion. Like,
believe that.
it would just keep like flipping over and like become like another billionaire.
Like, you become a net asset for whoever is keeping your money.
If right now I get $1 billion at age 26, and you say you're not getting no more income. Period. That's it. This your $1 billion.
You and your kids are good.
You probably get a couple million off interest like every day.
I'm
just
not
because.
saying I'm gonna spend the whole $1 billion, but I can definitely turn that bill to $1 million. You feel me? If it's not, that's so much money. If it's 900, 800 mil,
Bro,
that's still a bill to $1 million.
So you're spending $999 million.
$999.
That's a lot of money to be just spent. What are you spending it on?
Nigga, literally just said probably the most expensive thing you can buy right now is land. Just buying shit ton of land. I promise you gonna get that $1 billion into the millions.
He's gonna spend all his money on just buying the Wizards.
He's gonna spend all he's gonna do is spend all his money on assets.
He's gonna sleep in.
The only thing that you can buy that is that expensive that can get rid of your $1 million quick is assets.
I was about to say sports teams going for it.
The thing is, when you're buying assets, it's
gonna be making you more. It's gonna go to your network. It's gonna make you more money, bro. If you buy all this
land and just sit on the land and don't do anything with it,
like niggas gonna want to build on your land. They're gonna be like, bro, I'm gonna have to pay you so I can.
That's another profit situation. But like I said, if I just stop making money and I just bought things that depreciate cars.
No, but you're not going to stop making money. That's Keith's point. You're going to keep getting money.
I mean, honestly, you could just give all of it away to charity if you wanted to.
Or if you had it all in cash. Like if you just kept all the billion.
Let's say I did.
In cash.
Let's say
okay,
I did have it all in cash. It would be very easy to not make any more money and spend that money. Like I said, I'm not talking get rid of all of it. It's going to be very hard to spend $1 billion in one lifetime. But I could definitely turn that bill to $1 million. You're talking to the right guy. Oh my God. I'm just saying. That strip club going to look like a tornado.
This man doesn't even buy Netflix.
It's true. I'm very cheap.
You're telling me you got to spend $999 million?
Give me $1 billion.
I can turn a bill to $1 million.
Give me $1 million.
Not a mill to a bill.
Y'all not moving weight rate.
Oh my God, bro.
I can spend.
Nah, that's talent.
That's all I'm saying.
That is impressive.
I can turn a bill to a couple $100 million. Yeah. It don't take much for me.
But you know, like to get to a point where you have $1 billion,
it's a great point.
You know, especially like when you're talking about dudes like Elon Musk and like Jeff Bezos, for instance. Like people to see their net worth, all the money, and when they hear that number, like net worth, like. Elon Musk, $300 billion he's worth, I guess, something like that. When they $300 billion, like, oh my God, they're like imagining.
Give it to me and I'll show you.
Yeah, they're like imagining Elon Musk is having like rooms of just like straight like cash, like money just sitting there.
That's
like,
definitely a fire hazard.
That's because like
people have a misrepresentation of what that would look
it's
like.
like
because he doesn't have $330 billion.
Yeah, it's like, bro, it's in stock, bro. Like
people just
invest in his companies.
People say people see value and immediately start labeling. So like, you good luck convincing. But
I'd say he probably has like what 50, like 50, not even that. Like probably like maybe 50 billion. Probably like maybe in a bank account.
Maybe.
I feel like that's even high.
At most. That's high.
At most.
I bet Elon Musk has like $1 billion in like cash, and like everything else is just like. I mean, but I don't know, because you heard he like sold all his houses.
That's a
I did hear about that.
Yeah, he like sold all his
your
houses.
house caught on fire, your $1 billion somewhere lying around.
You see Elon Musk sweating like.
Bro, I don't even know how to move about that, bro. Like, you gotta say the kids, you gotta say the dog, you gotta say the $1 billion. Like, how's that gonna work? Get the duffel bags, all of them.
I did want to bring it back to capitalism a bit because.
Oh, we're talking about it?
We were. Apparently.
But this is quality.
But yeah, I was thinking because like we think the government's implements capitalism, but our government's not pure capitalism.
Not necessarily.
Like I'd say it's like probably 60-40, where it's like it's 60% I'd say is mostly capitalism.
What's the 40?
40% is socialism. But it's socialism on two fronts. Because there's the one socialism where you think like social security, you think
this might be our most professional conversation.
Yeah, I think so. We're growing up. We have social security, we have
which is rubbish probably.
We have welfare. Like these things are like they are for the people. But then we have the other side of things, which when the banks fail and the government does a bailout, that's not capitalism. That's socialism for the rich. And we
gotta
have
save some asses.
So we have this.
They playing the long game.
Yeah, we have this system that is sort of a capitalist system, but I don't think we'd ever want a full capitalist system because people be dying in the streets if they get too poor.
Yeah.
You know, we don't want that. But at the same time, if it was a pure capitalist system, these companies who basically like not take from the government, but when they make horrible mistakes and they need the government to bail them out, like in a pure capitalist system, it'd be tough luck.
Nah, socialism, like some socialism, like you said, broken down in percentages, like I think that's a good thing. I'm just kind of worried about how far like some people are taking it. People who are like who believe in like 100% socialism, like they're like, yo, like we need to be Europe. It's like all the freedoms.
I've heard that too, but Europe is capitalist.
Yeah, but I'm saying like Europe is kind of more socialism though.
It depends on what part. Like,
not like that. That's pretty much all Europe.
There are a lot of Scandinavian countries.
Put the wrap it up box up because I already know this is going to shift into a whole different conversation, and we got to get to the next topic because we're already 30 minutes in. But great notes on capitalism. Sorry, Nick, I see it coming.
We're 30 minutes in.
We're 30 minutes in.
We're 28. Yeah, we're about 30 minutes in. That's crazy.
So just before we start talking, being professional. Look, just before we start talking about Europe, we go to the deep end.
But all right, so just to wrap it up in terms of this topic, like final thoughts. What do you think about capitalism?
Meh.
Keith, what do you think about capitalism?
Wait, you can't. I feel like we were all on the same page though.
No, I have no real like. You're not gonna catch me like.
Not as you start praising capitalism at the end, like man.
You're not gonna see me in the streets with pitchforks like against capitalism, but obviously it's the system we deal with, so I just kind of keep moving.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like we're all on the same page, honestly. I thought you were saying that Nana like hates capitalism.
I just felt like doing the meh. Felt appropriate.
So Nana's meh. I am. And then Keith, where are you at?
I'm all for capitalism.
Not get the rating scale.
Yeah, I'm all for capitalism.
Keith, you gotta go by the rating scale.
I was
on a rating scale?
I was a meh.
I was like, eh.
Oh, you didn't explain that.
No, we didn't. It was actually supposed to be seamless, but we walked you into it. Where's your rating scale?
Where's your sound effect?
Oh, they got us like making sounds and shit.
There's got to be like fourth wall breaking at this fight.
We got the audience laughing.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, mine is
All right. That's good enough. No more positive with the sound effects.
We have a wide spectrum of opinions on capitalism.
I'm not gonna hold you.
At least we have an anarchist on.
Yeah,
that'd been crazy.
I'd have loved that perspective.
That'd been pretty crazy. But of course, better get that second topic. Oh my god.
I just feel like hit the butt. Go ahead.
I was like,
damn, we're getting some criticism.
I know, like, damn. We were just talking about keeping good vibes, keeping open minds. And I get the crickets.
Really pick that button on everything. I don't even know the next topic.
What? How long is this podcast going to be?
We try to make it an hour,
so
but
to make it a good like 2 hours. You're like one of those 2.5 hour podcasts.
Nah, we not Joe Rogan. We not Joe Rogan.
I know.
Bro.
You got to be popping.
I feel like Joe Rogan be having like 4-hour podcasts.
Bro, Joe Rogan,
he be at like 5 million views. I'm like, who are these people?
People be telling me 1 hour is too long. So I already know.
Bro, I want to know who the people are who play a Joe Rogan podcast for 5 hours.
Hey, someone likes it.
That's really amazing though. Like
that's incredible.
I don't know the last time I really sat there in one spot and had had a 4-hour conversation
road
with a
And
person.
just listen to niggas. You're not even in the conversation.
No, I'm talking about like you having a conversation with somebody for 4 hours, like straight.
Maybe a female.
Just,
But besides
straight
that,
sitting there, like sitting there, not like while you're doing other stuff, hanging out. You're straight sitting there, sipping on something, just straight talking to each other for straight 4 hours.
Yeah.
I'd like to do that. That sounds. I'm not saying we gotta do it today, but I'm saying.
Well, a lot of that actually goes on in our next topic because people be doing streams.
Great transition. Oh man.
People do streams
Uh-huh.
for 5+ hours.
You're right, that's what it is.
Yeah, and we talk about the Manosphere. But what did Nana? What was your name for it?
Hey, bro, let's be real. The Manosphere sounds stupid as fuck. So we might as well call this shit the
It does.
niggasphere.
The niggas.
But I gotta stop it there because I know someone's gonna hear this and go, "That works. Let me start calling that." Don't get punched, white people. Don't do it. I'm just saying now.
I
Don't.
feel like if somebody called that, you need to start like make some calls to get some money.
might
for
as
that.
well not even do
Don't
the
quote
niggasphere,
me
bro.
talking about the niggasphere and then you get jumped in his mouth.
It's not. It can't stick if white people can't say it.
We're gonna figure it out. And I don't think that's a
The
law.
N-word sphere. The N-word sphere.
The homie sphere. Either
The
way.
ninja sphere.
Nah. No, white people will say it.
Wow.
Hey, all right.
Outfitting.
So we talk about the Manosphere.
I can kind of go into a
Please do,
Yeah,
because this is a concept that's foreign to me.
So there is a growing sentiment, a red pill sentiment that is.
Whatever the fuck that means.
It's going around. It's a worldwide thing. I assume.
It's a phenomenon.
I think it's based mostly in America. Does that sound about right,
Word.
Keith?
I only know about the American culture, but I think it kind of.
I think it's outside.
I think it kind of goes outside the U.S.
I
too,
do. I
but
think-
let's
I
just
think it
talk
does.
about the U.S.
And so the exact principle is like male empowerment,
Word.
like for the most part, like male
Yeah.
empowerment, not like outright misogyny.
Word.
I don't think it's outright misogyny,
just
but
close.
I think the end result ends up looking very similar to misogyny.
It's just the
But
cousin.
that's just my opinion on it. That's the best way to describe
Let me
it.
give my
Yeah.
or kind of building on top of that. I feel like the term that people deemed manosphere, I think the term is kind of stupid too. I'm not gonna lie. I think there could be a better word for it. But inside the
It's stuck.
manosphere has like different like sectors. Let's say starting with the more things that are on the lighter side, like this is how a man should groom himself. This is how a man should like dress. And do
Things
all
your father
these
should be
things to
teaching
be a good, responsible man. And then people, there's a whole category on that. Then there's the people who talk. I guess we'll go straight to being like an alpha male. We've all heard about alpha males and betas our whole life. The alpha male is the person who runs the room that they're in. They don't take stuff from people. People look at them as the alpha and they follow them, kind of like a leader, kind of like everything that you would think that a man should be. Like every man, should have some like alpha in them. You would think, beta, that's kind of never a good thing.
Real red Power Ranger energy.
Yeah, and then you get a little bit deeper than that. You get to the red pill.
Okay.
And the red pill, are you familiar with
I'm
red
not
pill?
hip to the red pill,
Okay,
bro.
yeah. So it's kind of a
I don't
play
do
off
opioids.
of. It's kind of a play off of the Matrix.
Okay.
Red pill, blue pill,
Yeah.
right? So if you're a red pill,
Does
you
that mean you was
you
alpha?
are the main thing kind of based around red pill is if you're red pill, you're against marriage. Like you're like, I'm not getting married. Like that is like
This
you
is dramatic.
and you don't believe in being tied to one woman for the rest of your life. You believe in you believe in experiencing a lot of women. I mean, it doesn't really have to be a lot of women, but it kind of has to do with
Is it
that.
Can I put a caveat there though? Because a lot of these people also believe that they can do that, but then the woman themselves cannot date outside
You don't
because
tolerate
mentally men can handle multiple women mentally and emotionally, and females emotionally cannot handle multiple partners.
Which one is when it like
That's a big
you
part
have
of it.
multiple partners, and what is it when you're small?
Polygamy?
Single?
Polygamy. Thank you. I was really
Okay,
thinking
yeah,
artist,
polygamy.
bro. Polygamy.
Or you can look at
All right, well,
monogamy and
That's when
and what's the other one?
Polygamy.
What's the opposite of monogamy? Polygamy?
Yeah.
Polygamy?
It's polygamy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's
like-
monogamy? Monogamy is
It's
just regular,
the-
right?
Monogamy
it's
is when
just
you're
marriage.
with
It's
one person.
Yeah, monogamy is just regular. Polygamy is when you're multiple.
Thank you. All right, I was trying to
Yeah.
figure that out for the last 5 seconds.
Yeah.
That's just more polygamous.
But polygamy, a polygamous relationship,
It's more open. It's on
and
both
it's
sides.
it's not like a gender thing. It's not like the man.
I don't like that word polygamy. I don't like the way
it sounds like a ritual.
I don't like the way it sounds. I don't like the way I don't like saying it.
Polygamy ritual, you know?
Yeah, like
it has that vibe to it.
Like,
yeah.
It just makes me think of like people who have a bunch of wives in a compound, and they have like a bunch of they have like 30 kids. I don't like it.
The compound.
Your perspective on this is hilarious. All right, let me spit something real quick. I feel like
you better rap.
Drop the beat, nigga.
Play one.
No, don't play the beat, please. It's not that part. In the terms of this manosphere thing and the whole get up about teaching alpha and beta, whatever.
Yep.
It's really a shame.
You think it's a shame?
It's that the core concepts of this manosphere thing, like teaching niggas how to groom themselves, teaching them how to dress, how to go about business, being a proper man. It's a shame that motherfuckers is learning this on the internet, because I really feel like that shows like where your father figure is at.
Exactly.
Exactly. If you're learning this off YouTube, your father figure may not be.
The saddest thing is there are probably fathers watching this.
This is true.
There's probably young fathers watching this stuff.
I don't think you can really think about it like that. I was just using that as an example. No, say you learn from your father how to do things one way, but maybe you want to learn about how to do things another way. So you can build off on top of what you might learn from your father. Like I learned this from my father, but I actually didn't get to learn that from my father. Like instead of you can do that, but it's like, okay, instead of me being like, hey dad, can you teach me how to do this? Like, let me just look it up on YouTube and figure out how to do it. And that's kind of the top of the most mild part of the manosphere. It's like that's positive, all positive stuff.
But it's one thing to be learning on YouTube how to change your brakes. It's another thing to learn how to treat a woman. Of that should I'm not saying it shouldn't come from the internet. Do what you want to do, of course.
It's one thing,
but I feel like it tells if you have to go on the internet to learn that, as opposed to having real conversations with not even just your father, but just women.
Just a father.
Just women in your life. Like, let's say your mother, let's say an auntie, let's say somebody like
grandma. It all counts. For
you to go to a streamer whose job is ultimately to extract money from you somehow.
Some way, shape, or form.
To get this advice.
Yeah, I will say one thing from the from that, I guess, the red pill part of the community is one of the things that people do, which I think I honestly can agree with, is women don't know what they want. Actually, so you can't talk to a woman about how to get women. Just like you can't tell a fish how to catch you can't ask a fish how to catch a fish. Yeah, the fish can't tell you that. So it's kind of like not calling women fish, but kind of like the same things. Like you can't women's actually she's gonna tell you what she thinks women want, or what she thinks that she wants. But we all know this from our experience with women.
While I hear what you're saying, she's gonna give you the information that she knows or that best applies to her. Like you said, all women are different. You feel me? Yeah. All people are different. But in terms of the whether you're watching this and just, it's a form of entertainment, or you just, like you say, you want to learn some shit, maybe it's a different perspective, I think that's one thing. But I feel like people are really hearing this shit and applying it to their personal day-to-day lives, and that's not you, my G. I'm talking to y'all. That's not you, my G. Stop doing that. But in terms of the alpha and beta male shit, look, I think that's more of a natural process. It's a thing. Some people are alphas, some people are betas. Maybe it's a how you raise thing. Maybe it's just you personality, what you developed, whatever. Yada. I'm not getting into the scheme psychology of it. But if you gotta go on the internet to learn how to be an alpha male, you're not an alpha male. It's the situation, bro. And
I think that's just something you can't change. You can't change your mental makeup.
I'll say this: alpha male traits. I think nobody should want to take shit from anybody. You feel me? You want to be an upright person. You want to be able to hold
that's like alpha male at its basic form.
I hear that.
It's a nature.
That. Everyone should hear that. Everyone should not, don't be no bitch. Don't be a bitch in your free time. You feel me?
Exactly.
Stand up for yourself, if anything. People you care about.
And that's something that people have to develop in themselves.
I hear that.
But I don't think you're gonna get that information from watching like a YouTube video or watching a stream. Like if you're a beta, you're not gonna become an alpha off of that shit.
I agree
you
with
might
that.
get
I truly agree with that.
You might become more aware that I'm a beta. But I don't think you're gonna change.
I don't want to.
You might.
I think
if you're seeing a person who's a beta try to act like an alpha, it looks silly.
And in the way I see being an alpha, using that term, it doesn't mean you have to, go about doing everything, in like in an obnoxious way, like coming out and be like, oh yeah, I'm an alpha male. Like being an alpha male in the way you're trying to, like, it's the way I described it is like, you're trying to like rule the room, every room you walk in. But I guess at the most basic form is you're not gonna, let people, walk over you. You're gonna stand your ground. And you're gonna be assertive, right?
I hear that loud and clear.
So at its most basic form, for real, I feel like that's definitely a good thing. And some of the things that people might learn, like you won't learn all this stuff in school. Not everybody learns this stuff from their parents. Not everybody had a big brother. Like I never had a big brother. I'm the oldest. So like I never had like a brother. And you can only learn so much from your dad because your dad can only give you from as much from his experience, and some of the stuff, it can be embarrassing to ask, like, these different questions that you want to know about the world and society, or like just things you just want to know, and you're not gonna go to your friends and be like, hey, can you tell me this?
Because you look like a clown.
And you're not always gonna be able to get that answer from your dad, and not everybody had an older brother, so it's like you just look stuff up. Like if you don't know something, you look it up, and it's really cool that we have YouTube nowadays. It's because you can look up anything.
Information is very available, and as an older sibling, I understand what you mean.
You know
just gotta figure out a lot of shit on your own. But like, it's one thing to like watch some shit, and I'm not saying nobody should be watching these things, streams, whatever, and learning something. You feel me? Take a fact, take some information. Like if you watch it and you just learned that, like, hey, you don't have to be a bit. You can stand up for yourself. If somebody gets your order wrong, you can say, "Hey, I got my order wrong. Can you give me the right stuff?" You don't have to just cry about it. Eat your wrong food. Or whatever.
That's some good stuff.
Like that. That's some good stuff. Take things away and add them into your personality. But don't go from I'm a nigga who's a beta and I don't understand nothing to trying to pretend to be something. It's got to be a natural thing. You got to add these aspects into your personality and make them you. So like, don't try to walk around. Don't go buy a suit. Start wearing a suit in random locations. Think people gonna offer you business opportunities. That's not the case. My guy.
But there's also this side of the manosphere. I think there's a side of the manosphere we haven't touched on,
which is,
and it is the money making, be a boss aspect of it, which is a big part of it.
I think everyone should be aspiring to that.
No, I think you should
aspire. Always.
I see it a lot.
Not always.
I see it as you need to be able to be at this income level to provide for people. Mm-hmm. And if you are not at that income level, you are not a man. I've seen that. And
that's a hell of a perspective.
And I think that Kevin Samuel, and look, I watched my fair share of Kevin Samuel.
R.I.P. Kevin Samuel.
R.I.P. Kevin Samuel. I think he has some good videos.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And he has some good advice for people. But he had this one video that I'll never forget where I'm like, bro, that's some real privileged shit you just said. Where this guy called in and he had just divorced his wife and he was looking for some advice. And he was like, what do you do? He's like, well, I'm a builder. He's like, what do you build? He's like, I build houses. He's like, well, and he's like, so you build houses. Why don't you just pay for somebody else to build a house? And he's like, because I take pride in building a house. He's like, well, that seems counterproductive. And I'm like sitting there like, and me personally, I'm looking at Kevin Samuel like, I'm more impressed with a nigga that can build a house as opposed to somebody who is.
That's a passion, something that makes him good money, something he's good at. What does it matter?
But it's like, it's just the idea that like you need to be at a certain status. Like you shouldn't be building a house. You should be paying somebody. And it's just this overall just feeling of
somebody's got to build the house.
Somebody's got to build a house. Yeah, of course.
That's
the point he was trying to make, and the overall point, like a lot of these dudes try to make.
That bosses don't build houses.
Bosses don't build houses, one, yes. But also that you need to be at a certain level. You need to be what do you say? A high status?
High status male.
High
value male.
High value male, yeah. High value male, and you be a high value female. And I'm like, that is a very, very subjective thing. You're getting very subjective here. And when we're just deducing it down to how much somebody's worth, like instead of like the value of their, not to be, it's too introspective, but your soul, like the value of who you are as a person. Like when we get away from that and we're only basing it on what's in your bank account, that's where I have a big problem with it. Because I know plenty of people who I look up to who I make more than now. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just I had better opportunities in life. And it's like
the cookie crumbled.
Right, but they know so much more life experience. They know so much more shit.
I feel like this needs to be said. I don't know why it needs to be said, but if you watching these streamers, these people giving life advice, people doing well on the internet, streaming their life, doing whatever, please take everything they say with a grain of salt.
Especially when they're asking
Everything
you
they say.
to invest your money
Everything
into
they
something.
say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they do a lot.
They
They do a lot of that, like affiliate ads, all this stuff. Like affiliate links, and all that kind of like that side of the internet. NFTs, all this, like they're asking you to invest in all this shit that you probably don't have an understanding of, but since you're looking up to this person, you feel, oh, I should invest because they're telling me to.
And you know what that kind of just made me think of? That kind of has to do with everything that we consume in life. Like you really, honestly, in life, you have to take from pretty much all sources except maybe a few, everything with a grain of salt.
Absolutely.
You know,
Take
you shouldn't be taking. I think we've all learned that. Of course, like. The problem is it's exposed to these younger kids who don't know that. But like by the time I guess we're our age, you know that everything that you're learning, or at least when you're in your 20s, everything you take it with a grain of salt from books that you read in school, whatever. You take whatever you need to pass the class, but take that shit for a grain of salt. Take the shit your parents say for a grain of salt.
Right.
Take your shit from the Bible with a grain of salt. People what people say, and especially in books. And especially on the internet, but on the internet, we just have so much of it. It's just multiplied by so much stuff. So it's like,
some random Trump supporter is like, yeah, we shouldn't take Dr. Fauci's advice at all.
Look, it's a real perspective thing. But look, there's things in my lifetime where I thought were facts, which later on to prove not to be facts.
Absolutely.
So like, you really got to just sit on whatever you know till it's not a truth anymore. And
I'll be honest with you. I'm not saying I don't want to say Joe Rogan's on this wave because I don't think he's really promoting the Manosphere or whatever it's called.
Word.
But I used to listen to Joe Rogan like every single day.
That stuff.
I used to really like his stuff too.
And
I don't think it's bad.
It's not bad, but like I used to take a lot of it like at face value.
Word.
You know, and it took a lot to get out of that. You know what I'm saying? And I consider myself somebody who's not really, somebody who like listens to other people. I usually question everything.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but he had a lot of people on that I was like, yeah, I'm fucking with that. Like, it makes sense.
Yeah, even those random like scientists and I'll be like, damn, bro. Like I see the clips, I'm like, damn, bro, and I go watch the whole podcast.
Right, but I had to learn myself that you got to do your own research.
Take everything we've said in this pod with a grain of salt. Look,
research our shit as well. Please. But I think that people like to take authoritative figures at their word.
That's what we
it happens in our politics. It happens in our YouTube personalities. It happens in our everyday life. So I think it's just form your own opinion.
When you aspire to be like someone or even to be someone, you tend to eat everything they say and try to do what they do or yada yada. Look, we're going to have to transition off this topic eventually.
I mean, look, I think that this was a good I
like the direction we went with the Manosphere though.
I like that we kind of brought it back a little bit to capitalism.
Did we really?
Yeah, we really did. Yeah, because you said it kind of ties in with like some of it.
I said we, but I did.
Yeah,
I was like, that's the reason strong turn.
Yeah, but like honestly,
good job.
Honestly, from the best side,
round of applause from the audience. Yeah. He's busy. Don't let the audience do it.
Yeah. But I'll wrap the thought up with this. I would say that when it comes to the Manosphere, kind of understanding, defining what it is. The best side of Kevin Samuels, I know Kevin Samuels was wild. He wasn't my man for real, but like some of the stuff that was on there was like, that is facts. Like I felt like he really did mean well. Of course,
I can't say amen well.
I know he really didn't mean well, but
do you remember that?
He's just really like aggressive, and his job is to say the things that people don't want to say to people and to tell people what they don't want to hear.
He was good at that. He was really good.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody, that's the problem. And that's why Kevin Samuels was very necessary. And like, it's really sad that he went for real. I'm not saying he wasn't. Well, I feel like he wasn't my favorite person.
Regardless of how you feel about Kevin Samuels, I feel like everybody's saying that's really sad. It's a sad situation.
Never fun to hear someone die.
Yeah, but like
even if you don't like him,
even if it wasn't maybe correct or the right thing, like. He told people, he said it how it was. He wasn't sugarcoating anything. Like, he's like, okay, so, like, you're fat, right? Okay, well, you know that you being fat, you're not going to get a high-value man. You know that, right? He was trying to tell people. And nobody's going to say that to a woman, to her face. But Kevin Samuels did.
What he would always say would be funny is, like, how many kids you got? I'll never forget this one. Like, she had 2 kids. She was kind of overweight. He's like, "What would you rate yourself?" And she was like, "I give myself a 7." He's like, "You a goddamn lie."
Yo,
I'll never forget that clip. That shit had me dying. And it's like, yes, I do feel like people don't have that much realness coming at them at one time. I do think that he lacked perspective of like working class people.
Yeah, of course. And it's because like that's just where he was coming from. So you're not gonna have everybody's perspective, but like yeah, definitely wild. But like he straight said, he's like, you were a 3 at best. He said something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that was.
You are a 3 at best. I'm like, damn. And it's like people aren't gonna have those conversations. Like they're not gonna. Somebody's gonna sit with their girlfriend and be like, "Would you rate yourself?" Like, yo, I ain't even trying to be. I'm not even trying to be petty. You're like a 3, okay? You can't be going after these dudes. You know, you being a 3, you got 9 kids.
Could you imagine your child?
He said you wouldn't even be a high value male's mistress. I remember I was like, yo, he is wild.
Yeah, he's
bro.
like, no, he's kind of like on his like Simon Cowell shit for real. That's kind of like Simon Cowell was when he was talking about people singing.
I hear you, but he definitely took that shit to a next level.
He took it to the next level, and I don't see the positivity out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think there was. I feel like some people may have taken it positively, but for the most part, I feel like it was all just for kind of clicks and for like the highlights.
Nah, bro. I mean, I maybe watched like maybe a couple of the longer ones. But, like, he just really harsh with it. He is really harsh with it, and a lot of people kind of go back and forth with him, which doesn't look great. And he's like, but if you really hear what he's saying, he's just telling somebody the truth. He's telling them, and he tells them, he gives them stuff to, like, improve them for real. Like the dude who was a construction worker or whatever. Like, yeah, like, I don't think it's right to shit on somebody who is a construction worker, but people like Kevin Samuels, the way they view the world is, like, I'm trying to leverage myself. Like, most people don't know that, and life is about leverage. And when it comes to, you know, kind of going back to capitalism, when it comes back to getting money and everything, like, comes to get more money, you need to leverage yourself. I'm a construction worker. Why don't I pay other people to do construction to leverage myself? You know, that's how Kevin Samuels saw the world.
Yeah.
And like people like myself too, who's an entrepreneur. People who are entrepreneurs, you just see the world as like, okay, well, why wouldn't you? You know, try to leverage yourself in that situation. Like, why don't you? Okay, you're doing construction.
The problem is only a certain amount of people are going to ever be capable.
Right, and I 100%
because the world would not be able to function if everybody was taking the initiative.
Yeah, not everybody.
The world literally, the way the world functions is
we're always
that not happening.
We're always
everybody did that. Nobody working at McDonald's. Yeah. Nobody working at Home Depot.
Yeah.
Like, so the literal world
100%.
can't function that way, and the people who do these things know that.
Yeah, but and I'm sorry to keep going on it, but
we got time.
Okay, cool.
We got one topic left.
Yeah, here's just like one thing about it too is that people who see the world from that perspective, and I learned this a little while ago that not everybody thinks like me. Some people just want to be comfortable, chill, and do enough. Okay,
right.
But people who have
get by.
Yeah, exactly. Some people just want to get by. But people who have like a go-getter mentality, if you want to call it that, they're just like, why would you just want to get by? Like, if you're able-bodied, if you're healthy, like, why are you not gonna try to like meet your potential and do the most and stuff like that? And it does help. You do have to exert a lot of energy and stuff like that. Well, so like, I get why some people just want to chill.
I mean, that's cool. I guess for me, as like we can end it after this, unless you have anything to say.
I was gonna say, I mean, we're always gonna need worker bees. That's just like
100%.
I mean, I just look at it just from a friend standpoint. You know, like I have a couple friends, so I'm like, yo, like. You're not doing anything.
Yeah, bro. I'm trying to tell you.
Like, I have friends who don't have jobs.
That's not that. That's
you
not
know,
it,
and I'm like,
you gotta be doing something.
You don't have any desire to do anything. But at some point, I had to just cut my brain off and be like,
you don't gotta do.
God bless, because there'd be competition for me. Like my go-getting self, your go-getting self. Like,
what it is.
I feel like the less people doing this shit, the better, because that allows us more opportunity to reap this capitalism.
Less is more.
More.
Let's
talk about anime.
That was an ugly transition. Shout out to Kevin Samuels though with everything he was bringing up.
Let's talk anime though, because
hold on, I got still spotlight for a little bit. Because if you last remember, I was not watching anime. I took a break, and let's just say watching, like, obviously I say reality TV. We're just talking live action stuff, shit like that. It's not as fun as it used to be. I'm gonna be honest with you. Anime is like clearly the better media, and if you don't watch anime, you might have different opinions on that, but like I was watching Shameless, I was watching watched the show before Shameless.
Why are you calling that reality TV? It's not.
It's not. But like,
you said that last time.
You get what I'm saying?
But you're saying anime is better than something like Shameless.
It is the superior. Obviously, Shameless.
There are definitely anime out there that are better than Shameless, but anime in general is not better than Shameless. That's not what I'm saying.
Like, if you're like, say you watch the anime.
There's good anime and there's bad anime. Yeah. But when I tell you the peak of anime is better than Shameless, is not the best show out there. I'm not getting that out there. It's a good show. Yeah. I watched Wentworth as well. Great show. I actually really enjoyed watching Wentworth. Finished it. Quality ending. Yeah. But
wait, quality ending, but yeah.
I thought about it.
We'll talk afterwards. I want to get your opinion on that.
Man's a good thing for not.
It is. It's like, that's true. I had to make sure you kept your hopes
Capitalism,
low. Yeah. But in terms of where I'm at, so I've made the decision to go back to anime. I'm currently finishing Shameless. Oh. Thank you. I've made the decision to go back to
me a
anime.
Keyboard, sorry.
It'd be like that. I'm gonna finish. I got one episode less of Shameless, and I'm gonna start Ted Lasso. I'm gonna watch as much Ted Lasso as I can.
Nigga, fuck Ted Lasso. Come back to anime, sorry.
I'm coming back. Don't worry. I'm gonna watch as much Ted Lasso as I can before the fall 2022 anime schedule comes up, and that's what we talk about, good people. The slates of anime.
Now, let me just say right now, the anime coming out in this season is pretty poor, but that's because fall is about to be crazy.
I'm gonna put my fun on that one. Made in Abyss, the second official season is out right now, and God bless. Made in Abyss is Made in Abyss is great. I'm caught up with it. It's just that's really the only anime
I can't say it's a good season when one show is clearly better than all the other ones. You know,
this is facts. All right, before we go into the slate of fall 22 anime, my man's Keith right here. Obviously, we've been talking to him.
Is it fair to call you non-anime?
I'm not like a hater, but I don't watch anime at all.
All right, so you have.
That's why I said non-anime, because I don't feel like that's a hater. That's just someone who's...
I'm not a hater. Like I said,
doesn't consume
kind of like I open it up with. Like I'm always, I think objective is the right word to you. I'm always looking at art objectively. I'm like, okay, anime is on. Okay, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna try to get caught up in the storyline and try to understand what's going on.
Right.
You know, and but like I just never gone out of my way to watch the anime.
Dragon Ball Z.
When I was a kid, I watched.
Got it.
Yeah, when I was a kid, I watched. But yeah, I wasn't in it as heavy as other kids.
Got it.
But I watched all of Avatar. I like Avatar.
But close.
Anime inspired.
Well,
and honestly, might as well should be an anime.
Yeah. Besides it not being made by Japanese people, why is Avatar not anime?
That's it.
Because it's more Chinese based in terms of its like concepts. Very much.
Nickelodeon made it. That's the only reason, bro.
It's a big reason.
That's the only reason.
But besides it being Japanese,
but stuff like Yasuke, for example, that's an anime. But that's not made by Japanese people.
Talk about the style of
that's it. That's the job Netflix, the one that Flying Lotus produced, the one that's horrible. You ever seen that one?
No.
You ever heard of it?
No.
Damn. Yasuke. Okay, so this is anime made by this black dude. It's anime, but it's not made by Japanese. Would you not consider that anime?
I mean, if we're putting it in categories, if it's in the anime section or whatever site, yada yada, you're going to, if it's an anime.
Well, Netflix is not gonna knock.
But like, even like Chinese anime isn't really considered your modern anime.
Would Tower of God be anime?
It's a webtoon, so it's Korean.
So no,
technically it doesn't fit. But we know what it is. It's anime content, and that's what we're sticking with.
I feel like it's better to me, at least for me, to think of anime as a concept more than to be very specific.
The term anime has grown because before it really was just Japan putting in work, and everyone knew that. But now it's grown to the point where China has got their thing, Korea's got their thing, even the U.S. studios are making
like something like Castlevania. For all intents and purposes,
it's technically an anime.
Aaron, we have to ask the audience member: is Castlevania an anime?
Ooh, this deep in the rap.
No.
But it definitely looks just like one, and the action, fighting, and dialogue definitely go hand in hand with anime too.
So without anime, Castlevania probably wouldn't exist. But it's not anime itself. Is that fair to say?
That's tough.
That is fair to say.
Fair to say.
Yeah, but I feel like
Thank you,
sir.
Just kind of going back to Avatar because like I definitely watched all of Avatar and I loved Avatar. But like, what are things that Avatar has in it besides just it being American and stuff like that about how the show like plays out and everything that makes it different from traditional anime?
No, it's better than a lot of animes if we're keeping it real. That story.
It takes a lot of the fat that a lot of animes have.
Yeah.
It trims a lot of that fat since it's a kids show. You know,
Truly.
we can't make
Trims
the
fat like what?
So there's
You mean like making it extra violent?
no
The power of
Or like
so there's things I like to call anime-isms. That it seems like almost every single anime.
Okay. Tropes.
Go ahead.
Anime tropes.
Go ahead into it. I don't know what you're talking about.
So like for example, there's a lot of time there's this overfixation on titties
Right.
that's present
Fan
in.
service.
I would say, will you say 70% of anime is fair
Honestly,
to say?
it might be 80 because like when you have an anime and it doesn't have a fan service character, you'd be surprised.
Oh, you talking about like sexuality and stuff like that?
Glorified titties.
Like
It's
just
absolutely
unnecessary sexual shit
Okay.
that doesn't ever lead anywhere.
Most animes have that.
glorified. Yes.
Where it's like it's not like they ever like do anything.
It just
But it's
common.
always there.
It's very common.
A
Like,
character just randomly
unnecessarily
lands in somebody's chest. You know what I'm saying?
I'll say
Like
this. It's so common that like when you know who the fan service character of the show is, you'll know. It's everyone will understand it. There's no
Wait, you said
questions.
who's the what character?
Fan service character.
Clan service?
fan service.
Fan service.
Literally just there.
Girl with big titties usually.
Literally just there. So perverted and young niggas who can get pussy can have something.
Fan service
It's called fan
character.
service.
They're servicing the fans.
Because they have no real plot purpose to have titties those big. It serves no real purpose.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, there's some
Fan service.
anime that kind of take advantage of that
I think
and play with that concept.
It's such a cliche that niggas have expanded on it, and now it's really just it's part of
Like
the anime.
perfect example, Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid plays with. There's this anime where, so let's say the dragons they come to this planet and they become people, right? All the female dragons
anime, by the
have
way.
big titties, but the reason why they have big titties, I think it's, I know it's for one of them. I think all of them.
They do not address the titties.
They do address the
They
titties.
do address the titties.
So their
They do.
fire reserves are reserved in their titties.
It's true.
So it's like that's stupid, but I can at least respect the fact.
They made effort to make that concept work.
Right. There's still fan service.
I can't even imagine that.
It's
You'll
a
have
good,
to
it's a
see
good
it.
show, by
It's a
the way.
great anime, by the way.
Great
I'm not gonna hold you. The
Yeah.
anime is like that. The way we're berating it doesn't sound it.
Okay, and then, you know what? I 100% know exactly what you guys are talking about because to me, like every anime, especially when you're listening to, all the time, yeah, all the chicks sound like they're like having sex or whatever, you know? They make they're all like every
The
time
moans,
they're like
yeah.
sighs and moans be like sex noises. I'm like, yo.
I feel
I feel like the guys do that too, though.
yeah, the dudes too.
It's
That's
the-
one of the most iconic things about all animes. Is like,
It's the pitch of their voices. It usually be high, so like any sound they make.
I'm not
just
even
kinda
gonna try to
sound
like
weird.
imitate it, but
Don't-
we
don't
know
do
what
that.
I'm talking
All right,
about.
thank you for saving us the concept. But all right. We did all that just so we can get to the fall 22 slate for all of us who do watch anime.
And Keith, I need you to watch at least one of these shows.
Yeah,
This is good luck with that. But I'm not gonna hold you to nothing. But I'm gonna leave that on Nick. Starting off with the heavy hitter of, well, depends on how you feel heavy hitter. But Chainsaw Man, first season. I'm assuming it's gonna be a 13 episode, but we do not know yet. It could
I
go the
think
full 24.
to adapt what they need to adapt, it's going to be a 2-core.
Okay, this is very likely.
And the first core is going to be 13 episodes.
I can see
We're going
that.
to get that up to probably like, I'd say late January.
This is a good prediction. I think it's very fair. I think maybe they'll skip like a season, could bring it back in the summer. Things like that happen. But then we got Mob Psycho 100 season 3. I am very excited for this. Hey, look, if you are gonna start an anime, do Mob Psycho. Oh my god, it's so good. I'll just put that out there. But if you don't, you don't. Look, we don't really gotta speak on Mob Psycho. We know if it's anything like the last season.
I have
we're
been
in
looking
for a
forward.
show.
I've been looking forward to this
man,
for a while.
I'm excited. So look,
When did that premiere? You know?
Hmm?
When does that premiere? You know?
fall? I mean, like the actual date.
Like the at least month.
When does the fall season start? Technically next month.
Yeah.
It's early September.
Okay. Well, I'm happy for that.
Yeah, it's gonna be early September. Then we got the 6th season of My Hero Academia, and it's a shame. I feel like this anime gets unnecessary hate, but it also gets an unnecessary stupid amount of love.
Just read the manga, yo.
So I feel like, look, we're at a good point in the show. Like, war is coming. The war is coming, bro.
War's been coming for like 3 seasons.
but
What you
it's
talking
fucking
about?
here, Nick. Stop hating.
What
We
you
got to
talking
the
about?
point where
War
here.
has been coming.
It's here,
I've
bro.
heard from manga readers we have one more season for things getting
Nah,
lit.
it's
I've
here,
heard
bro.
that from manga readers.
It's here. I'm excited. This is it. I'm ready for all the noise.
That's on Netflix, right?
It is.
I feel like there is something My Hero related on
Y'all know me. I'm from the streets. I have no idea what's on Netflix.
I feel like I've seen My Hero Academia as like one of the things on there.
If you're gonna start anime, don't start there.
Okay.
Just my
I don't think you like
Don't
it.
start there. Look, you understand it. Don't start there. Spy X Family Part 2.
Yeah.
I didn't start Part 1, but this was my plan. I was gonna kind of watch Part 1 into Part 2. Plus, I got a lot of anime to watch. So
You're in for a treat.
I
was going through a manga phase.
I hear
and
it's
I
a
remember
good
when
one.
I read a chapter of that and I was like, okay, that's the one you have to wait for the anime for.
I hear it's a good one. So
Great
I'm here
anime.
for
You gotta
this.
watch it.
We've got To Your Eternity, second season.
Haven't finished the first one.
Didn't finish. I didn't start the first one, so I'm not gonna start the second one. Good
It's
for all.
very
who's watching.
sad.
I hear that. We've got a new season of Bleach. I don't know if it's a season. I don't know if it's a new season or a movie, but it's the adaptation of the final manga.
Are you a Bleach fan?
No,
Me neither.
too many episodes, too many filler.
Never seen any of it.
Oh well.
I've read like maybe 2 chapters, but nope.
There's plenty of other anime coming out in this season, but we're gonna stop at this one. Last but not least, Blue Lock. Blue Lock is a soccer anime. It's got real big reviews. I'm a big soccer guy. You go catch me watching that. But that is, if you know anime slates, this is a pretty stacked anime slate. There might be some other things to care about.
Attack
we're
on
not gonna
Titan's
talk
in that
about
slate too, isn't it?
No.
No, winter. That's winter.
Yeah,
That's
it's
winter.
So anime they drop in like seasons.
Yes. There's fall, winter, spring, summer.
And they all like drop at the same time.
13 weeks.
Yeah. Japan's weird.
They're all 13 weeks long, regardless.
And they premiere like super late.
And you gotta like
too.
watch them all at the same
They do
time.
weekly drops.
But like, what if you want to watch multiple shows?
You have Crunchyroll.
They'll
Watch
usually
them at
drop
your
on
pace.
like different days.
You don't gotta watch them live.
Yeah.
You just watch them at your pace on
I'll
streaming.
never watch
Do
them
they
live.
drop like the whole season at once?
No, never.
No.
That's
One
anti-anime.
week at a time.
Oh, didn't JoJo's drop?
I don't know if the second part
You
dropped.
said
I have
that's
to check.
anti-anime.
That's not how they work.
No.
I don't know if the second part dropped, but I will check.
It's if it's not fall, it's winter. I know it's somewhere. Late
I'm
in
expecting
the year.
it to come soon. But long story short, Gracie isn't on the way. I've got to watch the most recent season of Love is War because I heard it was really great.
Amazing.
Really. I heard
I
it got
would say
really good
it's the
reviews.
second best season.
Second best. All right, well, my hopes are a little pivoted. I heard it was really fucking good. So
The
I'm gonna
ending
watch
is
that.
top tier. You should watch.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm planning on watching that. I got some anime to catch up. That was the little anime corner shit we got going on. I'm gonna let Nick transition us out.
If you're gonna watch any anime this break,
Mob Psycho, bruv.
I feel like Mob Psycho is a good choice, but you're gonna have to watch Mob Psycho 1 and 2. And that's a tall
That's
order.
a commitment.
That's a tall order. So
Well,
of all the anime on that list, you need to get on Chainsaw Man.
You're funny, Nick.
It's right there. I got the collection. I read it. You need
I don't
to
think anyone
watch.
can see that clearly enough.
Probably not. But yeah, you should watch Chainsaw Man. It's going to be the new anime out. If all the ones you said, it's the only one that's besides Blue Lock, right? It's the only one that's not a continuation.
Maybe.
I feel like all the other ones like season 2s and stuff.
Yeah.
So this is a brand new anime. You started from the top. It's probably gonna be the wave. Probably the most anticipated anime of the
A lot
year.
of people are gonna be watching. Also, I forgot to say this because nobody watches it. A new Mobile Suit Gundam season's coming out. I hear it's got nothing to do with anything. I'm gonna be watching that. Shout outs to the mech anime fans. I was gonna say one more thing.
If you like Gundam, watch 86 too.
Hey yo, is it that good? I just refused to
Yeah.
watch it because I heard it wasn't what I thought it was.
Well, I never said you got that from me. I didn't say it wasn't good.
I didn't ask you if it was good or bad. I asked you if it actually was a mech anime, and you said not really, and I said, well, that's it for me.
But it's like you're asking me to like compare it like Gundam or something. Like,
I'm
it's not that.
I'm not
It's
asking
different.
you on your perspective. I was told
It's a
before-
mech anime, like how Evangelion's a mech anime. How about that?
Are you sure? Because Evangelion is actually a mech anime.
That's how much these are in the mechs. It's just a different perspective than like a Gundam fight.
I was told it was a mech anime, and then you told me not really. When we
It's
first
not
talked
mech
about
from
it.
the standpoint because usually they're fighting in space. Like
I
this,
mean,
it's not like that.
That's not a prerequisite, but if they're doing most of their fighting in mechs, it's probably a mech anime.
Well, they don't do any other fighting besides the mechs.
All right.
It's just there's a lot of like character development outside the mechs.
That's fair.
So I think you'd like it.
I don't know if I'm playing. All right. I don't know if I'm started, but we'll see how it go. I was gonna say something. I literally forgot what it was. Oh well, Chelsea won
Then
the
you forgot
Premier this
now?
year. You said something that made me think about something I forgot. Oh, Chainsaw Man. Yes, I'm hearing great things about it, and I'm expecting good things, and I'm also gonna watch it. But shout out.
At the very least, it's gonna look incredible because Map is doing it.
Oh yeah, it's a wrap.
The trailers look crazy. It's gonna, at the very least, look incredible. I'm sure people are gonna have their own opinion on the plot, of course, because it's all opinion.
All
But
right, completely. I guess not off topic, but if you were to start an anime genre, how would you feel?
You said what genre?
Yeah, like are you an action man? Are you mystery, romance? Like it's pretty basic genre. I guess slice of life is his own thing. But
Shonen, which is fighting.
Yeah, slice of life is more like just anything while fighting.
I mean, probably something that.
A little action. Everyone likes a plot, obviously.
Yeah, definitely like a really good plot. Action doesn't have to be too much action.
Good dialogue.
Probably stuff that like looks really cool, but it's like more on the realistic side at the same time.
Black Clover. All right, bet. Black Clover is probably the farthest from what you just described.
You say realistic though.
Yeah, that's why I said Black Clover.
Like, yeah, you can have like that supernatural shit, but
you still like to have it some basis in reality.
yeah, but like somewhat realistic, you know.
I
So
feel like you would like Jujutsu Kaisen.
so kind of like so it can be
That
like
is
you know somewhat
more than Black Clover.
That's fair. I will say that.
Because Black Clover didn't take place on Earth, do it?
I was technically yes.
Does it?
Like a kind of like a mystical Earth.
Huh, that's good.
But
Huh.
I was being sarcastic when I said Black Clover. Now.
Oh.
But Fire Force, that's a good anime.
Yeah.
I miss Fire Force. To be honest with you.
It's coming back,
The
isn't
plot
it?
is slow, but exactly kind of like. All right, how did you feel about firebenders in Avatar?
What do you mean? How I feel?
Like, how did you feel about like the concept of people firebending? Did you
Oh,
think it was dope?
I thought it was cool. Yeah.
Right. All right. So imagine if like the world was just full of firebenders.
Like different types of firebenders.
Oh, okay.
That would be. Well, there were different types of.
That sounds
Azula
cool.
had her thing, and then there was lightning.
Yeah, but she was really the only one.
Fair point.
And honestly, I never understood how she was the only one able to do that.
Why she had blue fire, we never asked, but it was dope. It was, you can't deny
It was very
dope. So,
and I will not lie, it created the perfect image when they finally captured her.
When they
and she's just like
spitting fire,
just like
on the dragon.
spitting fire and
That
lightning
shit
and
was dope.
shit.
That shit
Yeah.
was dope. But nah, if
that
you were
was
big
crazy.
on fire,
Avatar's a great show.
Fire Force is kind of like that lane where it's a fire-based fighting show, and it's got its own little like secrets and things going
What's
on.
the thing that happens to the people like when they get don't they like they get consumed by evil fire or something, and then they're
There's a
like
word for
are
it,
about
I
to
just forget
blow
it.
up, and they're about to blow up.
They literally disintegrate and shit like
They
that.
disintegrate and they blow
Yeah.
up and kill people.
Are all of them like storylines like carry out through each episode?
Yeah, they carry out.
Yeah, one big story.
There's some
One
there are
big
some
story.
anime that don't do that. They're more episode like Cowboy Bebop's one where it's like
Aw,
something
man.
different.
I want my
Episodic
money
is
back.
what you mean. Episodic episodes.
And all the episodes really cool where they have at the end of where they end with like a twist
A cliffhanger.
or a cliffhanger.
some do,
You
some
need to
don't.
watch Attack on Titan.
Oof, that's cliffhanger.
That's the
That is
cliffhanger
cliffhangers.
and twist show of the
Oh, man.
century.
To be honest,
Every episode, you're gonna be sitting there like, damn, I got to press play.
once you
on
get
next
to the
one.
end of season 3, they kind of
You
just
said Attack on Titan?
Yeah.
Attack on Titan.
I seen a little bit of Attack on Titan.
You
That's
definitely-
on Netflix, right?
Yeah, it's on
You
Netflix.
definitely
Okay.
gotta start the one.
Yeah, I
from
seen
Joe.
like a episode or two.
Definitely gotta start the one from Joe.
Yeah, Attack on Titan. That's a pretty wild concept.
That's
man.
the
Like,
anime I
I'm like,
always
wait,
suggest to people.
I'm like, yo, so like the people are big and they just be eating people, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
You just going after
goddamn,
people,
bro.
man.
It's like, damn, yo, they can't really do anything about it.
It's honestly a human's worst nightmare, but seeing it play out in anime form is art. It really is.
And the show turns into like a epic,
Sci-fi
weird.
thriller. I don't know
It turns
how to
into like a
describe
sci-fi,
It's
epic,
beautiful.
almost like historical.
Attack on Titan is
criticism.
art. It is final form. In the pod, Nick.
Peak fiction. Peak fiction. Any final thoughts, gentlemen?
Oh man, it's been a good pod. I hope you enjoyed us rambling. If we said anything that you didn't agree with, sucks to be you.
Yeah, fuck you.
But I hope
Agree
you
with
enjoyed.
us.
I hope you enjoyed it. You feel me? I hope you had
Yeah.
fun. I hope you had a good listen. Keith, please give the people your final thoughts. How did you enjoy your first Rando podcast? Yeah, your Rando Convo podcast.
I forgot the name of the podcast. God
For
damn
a
it,
second,
bro.
I did.
Oh my
No,
god.
I'm definitely glad you guys had me on. This was
It was a pleasure.
Yeah, this is definitely fun. Definitely like the conversations that we talked about, and honestly, I really liked it because even though we kind of had an idea of where we wanted to talk about,
random as
I
fuck.
kind of like we kind of talked about things that like I really don't think I really talked about in that way.
It's the
Or-
Rando Convo,
yeah,
baby.
so that's pretty cool. So
We appreciate
job
it.
good
accomplished.
conversation.
Mission accomplished.
Nick, you did good. Good hosting, yeah.
Good job me hosting.
Good audience work.
co-hosting.
You feel me? Shout out to
Good
the audience.
audience
Shout
work.
out
Shouts
to
out the
the
audience. Hold
People don't
on,
even know we
hold on.
shouting
Hit the button. Hit the button. Hit the button.
Which one is it? Damn. I'm fucking-
You revealed all.
Yeah, that was ugly,
You
people.
revealed all the sounds.
Nick, you know how this go. Drop the beat. You're
Dropped.